He's one of our real estate agents. He's a father, husband, Lego enthusiast, and sandwich artist. And today, he's in the hot seat. Derek Altman's next on the Spotlight. Studios of Alethes Realty in beautiful downtown Russellville, we welcome you into the Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us. I am Drew Brent. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today, 479-968-5668, or cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. One of our fine agents is always ready, willing, and able to serve you. That number again, 479-968-5668 or russellvilleliving.com. One of those agents is here with us today. We are in Agent Week this week, and Derek Altman joins us. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. How are you doing, Drew?
Hey, first question. Are you ready?
Sure.
What's the phone number here?
479-968-5668.
Okay. The reason, of course, I ask.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, we put you on a live video. And it got some inter-office infamy, I think, because we just say the phone number, 968-5668, and you said 968-5688.
No, I said 5668.
I don't think that's what you said. We've got video.
That's what I said.
We've got yeah, and you loudly proclaimed that right before we pushed stop.
I'll go to the grave.
But we've got video evidence on that.
I know, it's true.
So, you have been in real estate how long?
Working on finishing my 4th year.
4th year.
Yes, sir.
What did you do before that?
I made sandwiches.
You made sandwiches.
23 years.
I said sandwich artist in the intro for a reason.
Sure, yeah.
Because
I had a sandwich for lunch today. I didn't make it, but
right. I mean, and I made sandwiches for years.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things about real estate and restaurants that translate into one another.
the customer's always right.
Walk me through some of those similarities.
But that's it. The customer's always right.
Right.
You know, where I worked was just a lot of face-to-face with people. You start with a little bit and you end up with a lot, and you just keep rinse and repeat and do it over and over again until people figure out that's where they want to continue to keep eating. And that's kind of the premise behind here is there's not the same turnover rate as opposed to somebody getting hungry, but when they do decide to shop around or life happens, we would hope that they choose to come back to us and choose us again, or choose me, whoever.
Well, speaking of choosing, you did restaurants for years and years, just like I did. Then you pivot to real estate.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
Was still in the sandwich business, and Brent and Brad used to come there every so often, get a sandwich, get lunch, and at the time they were helping my mother sell her house up in Dover, and just they come in and say hi. They knew who I was, and they had posted, I think, on Facebook about the need for a photographer for here. And my mother was kind of like, she knew I was into photography and just shooting around and messing around all the time, but nothing too serious. And she's like, she knew that she was getting ready to retire soon. And not that I was going to, just become a real estate photographer for full time by any means, but it was something to at least work on my portfolio. And so I decided to ask them, and they hired me, brought me on as a photographer. And then they would let me sit in on our Tuesday morning meetings and just listen. That's all I did. I was kind of in a room full of adults sitting at the kid table is what I felt like sometimes.
Right.
Because it was all familiar, but they weren't my clients. I had my opinion at the time didn't matter. So unless kind of took in from, my grandfather's advice was speak when you're spoken to, and the rest of the time just listen the best you can. And that's what I did. I sat around and listened, and I was like, what, I kind of like this. This is kind of the similarities of, customer service and all that is number one priority here, and for even by myself. And so that's kind of the segue into getting my license, and talked to Brent one day and sat down and asked him. I was like, man, what's it going to take for me to get my license? And he said, well, Brent, he's just bing, bang, boom. This is
Right.
what you do. And I did it and got my license, went active January 2018, right after my son was born. And just, he said, here's your tools. Go. And
Walk me through that first month. Here's the reason I ask.
oh, wow.
I've been in this business now for almost a year. January 4th will be 1 year here. It's kind of crazy that it's already been that long.
Oh, yeah. Flies.
And I'm not an agent. I'm marketing, video, multimedia. That's what I do. But I've learned quite a bit through osmosis.
Sure.
Here's the one thing that I have learned that I think is most important for everybody out there to know. If you want to be successful in real estate, this is not a part-time gig.
No, you have to show up.
This is
every day.
This is a grind.
Yeah.
Walk me through that first month and what the transition from what restaurant life was like to building up that clientele and trying to make this thing work.
Restaurant life, it was still the same thing. I had 3 days off that we were closed out of the year. Very similar to here,
Right.
except we don't get 3 days off here.
Right.
You can think you do, but you find out really quickly that you end up having to push your work back and make up for it in the future. But so that was, those two correlated well, was just knowing that every day of the week is, there is no Monday or Wednesday or Thursday or Sunday or whatever it is, and even though it's a business day, Monday through Friday, the weekends are still a lot where you can get done and get ahead. And people work during the week and they have the weekends off. And so if they want to go look at homes, the weekend is the only time for them. Sometimes it's 7 o'clock at night on Thursday because they've worked all day. And guess who's unlocking doors at 7 o'clock at night when it's pitch black like how it is right now? I'm there for them because that's just what we have to do.
I've also learned too that there's a lot of intricacies to this business that I had no idea even existed.
Sure.
When I hear you guys talk about the parts of the deal that I would never have even thought about, it just kind of blows my mind. 2 parts to this question. One, was there something that really stood out to you when you first got your license that you weren't necessarily expecting? And 2, do you really crawl under houses?
Answer the first part. There's an art to negotiation. It's not. It can be black and white, but it takes, I say, years. Who knows how long? It takes a long time for it to become very. It's probably never black and white, to be honest.
Right.
You think that it can be, but you're always surprised. Something always new pops up that you're deer in the headlights. You don't know what to expect, but as long as you, to be honest, have a great broker like Brent in your corner at all times. Everything that I do, say, think, has all been a direct result of what he's taught me and led me along the way. He's slowly, I don't want to say loosened up the leash or anything like that off of me. But, as time goes on, he's comfortable with knowing that what I've learned from him and how to help people in the, knowing that it's what's best for your buyer and seller at all times. It's not about me. It's not about what's best for me. It's what's best for the buyer and the seller. Whom I'm representing, of course. So
We're going to get back to real estate here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot more to the agents here than just real estate. That's part of the reason why we're doing Agent Week this week, because I wanted to learn and I wanted our people to know some of the reality of the people that work here. Some of the reality never needs to get out, but some of the reality 100% does. There's one thing about you, one of the first things I learned about you when I got here that everybody told me about was Derrick's a Lego enthusiast.
I am.
I did not. I was like, okay, Lego enthusiast. He's got a couple models, great. That is not giving you enough credit. You are quite the Lego enthusiast. Talk about it.
I have a little collection in my office on display. I have a lot more at home. My son Cameron, he's since becoming quite the little enthusiast of trying to learn how to build. And of course, when I'm at work, I come home sometimes and he's found my secret stash or wherever I keep them hidden from him, so we don't come home and find them all over the place. And it keeps Mom's sanity, at least to the best. But every so often he finds those hiding places and gets them out. So I don't know. There's just always something new. It's very, they come with a little instruction booklet, and it's just step 1, step 2, step 3. Build the machine or model, and take it all apart and put it away, and then pick it up again and rebuild it. It's just it gives me ability to shut down for a little bit and just focus on one thing at a time and block out everything. I don't get to do it as often as I'd like, of course. I usually have to wait till either the kids are asleep or something like that, you know, to be able to mess around with them. But they're pretty. I've been playing with them since I was a little kid. My parents got me into them, and it's fun.
Speaking of kids, one question I've been asking all of the guests here lately, and I always seem to get a really interesting answer. If you go back and talk to 10-year-old Derek, and you tell him, hey, this is what you'll be doing X number of years from now, is he surprised by that?
Oh yeah, 100%. 10-year-old me, I think when I was 12, had my whole life planned out. I was still in Michigan before we moved here when I was 13. Had my whole life planned out. Knew I was either going to get into either aerospace, design or aerodynamics, or architecture, bridge architecture. Those were pretty much my 3 topics of things. Had my schools all picked out where I was going, just had everything lined up. Now being in real estate, I was a pretty quiet kid, and I'm still very introverted and quiet that I need to do to keep my energy where it needs to be and stay focused. But being 10, I probably was already retired by now. Who knows?
It's like, I was living on a beach.
Yeah, I had no idea how many years of work I was going to have to do at 10 years old.
I thought 35 was the age that you go to the nursing home.
Yeah, exactly.
35 is my next birthday, and I can kind of understand why I thought that some days. But
it's like, hey, 20 years, you retire, no big deal.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to really do a whole lot.
It's just begin.
Right. Nobody told me about that. I would never have agreed to that if somebody would have told me. We are talking to Derek Altman. Of course, he's one of our great agents here at Alethes Realty. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today. It's 479-968-5668. Cruise on over to RussellvilleLiving.com. Sports fan. We can already tell that you're a sports fan. You've got pigs on the hat. At this point when this airs, Championship Saturday will have already occurred.
Okay.
And the Razorbacks will likely know where they're going bowling.
Cool.
As of this recording, we don't know.
Right.
But let's talk about your sports viewing habits. Who are your teams?
Of course, Arkansas. But I fall back. Watched Ohio State and Michigan play over the weekend. Huge Wolverines fan growing up. That's actually where I wanted to go to school. Had everything planned to go there. But and then a Detroit Lions fan. It's like being a Hogs fan, but worse, I think.
I don't know. Even
up until at least this year.
Well, I don't know. Even in the worst
similarities.
years, Arkansas still won 2 games.
Yeah, we've tied one this year. I don't even think they've got a win.
Yeah. You haven't lost them all, but you certainly haven't won one. While you're taking a swig of that, I'll tell you a story that you'll appreciate. We can share on air. When I was working in Fayetteville for ESPN Radio, we had the opportunity. My favorite NFL player of all time was Barry Sanders, Detroit Lions running back. Yeah, all-time favorite. And I had a PR buddy of mine who worked in North Carolina who represented him, and he said, "Hey, he's doing this tour Do you want to interview him?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do. I had him for 30 minutes on my show. And then for another like 30 minutes to an hour, he talked with me on the phone.
That's cool.
I had 60 to 90 minutes with Barry freaking Sanders.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. You know, it's one of those things you never forget. If you've got 60 to 90 minutes for your favorite athlete, who is it?
Man, at some point in my life, it probably could have been Tiger Woods. I do like golf. Big John Daly fan as well. Not just because he's local, but he's just they called him the Wild Thing or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's a good dude. He really is. Played in a lot of his Boys and Girls Club tournaments growing up, and he helps a lot with the kids. I don't know, man. Grew up playing baseball. And then Michael Jordan, but that documentary came out, and that kind of answered a lot of my questions.
Right.
Still hardcore Jordan fan, even though what Scottie Pippen and everybody's saying about him right now. Man, it would have to be probably Carl Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. My dad was a big sprinter in high school. I ran track in high school and kind of always looked up to him, for a long time. His work ethic and just the way that he approached everything,
Right.
professionally, he was a phenomenal athlete. Yeah, probably Carl Lewis. I may not look like I was quick, but I was pretty fast growing up. So
somewhere in a storage room in Russellville, Arkansas, there is a Carl Lewis Wheaties box that I have.
oh yeah,
But I do not know which storage room.
I probably have
it's
one
in.
too somewhere. But I've lost a lot of memorabilia over the years of just moving and just keeping it with my parents, and she maybe have her. She could have who knows? She probably threw it out. That's just my moms do.
Well, I mean, things happen. Like
Yeah,
that,
my
right?
dad had a ton of baseball cards growing up, and I think his mom threw out all his old baseball cards.
Oh,
Yeah, like things like like Roger Maris, things like that. Cards like that. Mickey Mantle, but no.
ouch. Those are the ones that hurt. I hate
Yeah.
even hearing about that. We are talking to Derek Altman, one of our fine agents here at Alethes Realty. When we come back, he answers the rapid fire. Don't go anywhere. More Spotlight right after this.
I'm Brad with Alethes Realty. At Alethes, we pride ourselves on doing things differently. That's why we've invested in some pretty cool technology that sets us apart from our competition. We bought a Matterport camera. This allows us to create a 3D virtual tour like nothing else available in our area. It gives the user an opportunity to explore every inch of the house without actually being there. This works wonders in a regular market, but it's been a godsend through the pandemic. It's cool for buyers, but the real benefit belongs to the seller. You see, homes with a Matterport tour cut down on a number of showings because the buyers have already seen the house. They're coming to buy it. Homes with a Matterport tour sell faster and for more money than ones without. The home playing in the background sold in 4 hours with a more than full price offer. If you're interested in selling your home and like what you see, give us a call. We're unmatched in our approach to marketing, and we'd love to show you everything that we do. Thanks so much. Give us a call today.
We welcome you back into the Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us here on Alethes Realty Live. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today. It's 479-968-5668 or cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. Derek Altman, one of our fine agents, is here with us today. What's that phone number?
479-968-5668.
Nailed it. got it done. This is the part of the show where we do a little bit of rapid fire. And so, are you ready for some rapid fire?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What scares you the most?
Death.
Death. Worried about death? He cheated it a couple of times.
Slowly dying, but just, the sudden, I guess maybe not death, but just not getting to see my kids grow up.
Right. Okay. I can get with that. Summer or winter?
Love summer, but man, I love the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Michigan guy.
peaceful. Oh yeah, it's peaceful.
Who is your hero?
My mom.
Okay. Outstanding. What does success look like to Derek Altman?
Home cooked meal, kids laughing, toys everywhere, a roof over our heads. Man, I keep it pretty cold in the house, so blankets and socks.
Right.
We're not stretching too far where we're running around wearing shorts and stuff in the house, but you got to keep them dad jokes alive, and it's true. It's
Right.
cold in my house.
Favorite TV show?
Man, Cheers. Cheers was a good one.
Cheers. That was a great show.
Yeah.
If you could say one thing to someone famous, who would you say it to, and what would you say?
Can I take back who I wanted to talk to? Because I got another one. I don't want to say take back,
Sure.
but Dennis Rodman is another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'd probably ask him why he ever left the Pistons, man. I kind of.
Yeah. Why they ever?
Do I ask him a question? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you
Ask him a
can
question?
ask him or say anything.
Say
to
anything
him.
to
Yeah.
him?
I wish you'd have never left the Bad
Yeah,
Boys.
don't leave the Pistons, but whatever. I guess that's.
Well, I mean, it ended up being a world championship for him too.
Yeah, I know. He turned out okay, but
It was fine. I mean, Pippen may not have a positive
again,
opinion, but
Piston
again,
fans,
final part of the show, and I don't do this when we've been doing it a lot more here lately with some of our repeat guests and people that know me a little bit better. It seems to me that it's only fair that since I put you in a hot seat and ask you questions that I do not tell you anything about, that at the end of the show you have the same opportunity to destroy me should you like to. So, for the last few minutes of the show, it's all you. If you want to ask me a hot seat question, here it is. What's Derek Altman going to do as the host of the Spotlight right now? He's going to take a big cup of coffee, take a swig.
let's see. My first question:
Okay.
do you ever see yourself growing your hair out? Or a segue from that: ever shaving your beard with a bald head?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That'll never happen.
Okay.
Jamie will leave me if I ever do
Yeah,
that.
you're probably right.
She, yeah, I mean, the hair
I would
was,
leave
yeah, right, exactly. No one would want me around. The hair was a stretch because it was going.
Yeah.
And she finally just said, all right, the bald spots, I mean, you look like a half-watered chia pet, so it's time to,
I still have hair too. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
just-
I
the
mean,
hair is not covering anything up. It's just
right, you've got hair.
comfort.
But the beard, I have been explicitly told the beard is to stay. And I've had a pretty good beard day, so
I think I'm about 10 or 11 years strong. I've never shaved about 10 or 11 years.
this one's
Shaved
4
once.
because I nicked it one time
Yeah.
and I had to shave the whole thing. And Adora didn't recognize me and did not like it.
She like sprint out the front door.
No, she cried.
Yeah, I bet she did.
She cried. She said, what is wrong with you? What happened to your face? I think it's exactly what she said. I was like, what happened to your face?
We say that a lot around here too.
Right, exactly. Like, what happened to your face?
When was the moment that you knew Jamie fell in love with you?
Oh, that's a good question.
You just knew that you were in, and that she had no chance of ever like letting loose of you like the plague or something.
Honest to God, when I knew, I didn't know that it had happened for a long time. But if I look back on it, I mean, because when you're in the middle of it, like our relationship was up and down at first.
Sure.
So there were times where I thought, this woman cannot stand me. But if I look back at it objectively now, it was the exact same moment that I knew she was too.
Okay.
And it was the coffee shop. It was a Starbucks date, April 27th, 2015, about 10:50 a.m.
You say, what year?
2015.
Okay. That was a day before my birthday. So.
April 27th was when we first sat. We met at her dad's funeral because I was on staff at the church
Okay.
at the time. And we met there. She thought I was a jerk, but I was just busy. I was trying to make sure that we got everything done. And then we went out. And I think she knew leaving that Starbucks that day, like, oh, man, this guy might be it. And she fought it, and so did I. But I think it was probably the same time that I knew. I called Mom after our second date, and I told her I found the one I'm going to marry.
Yeah. I think we need to actually maybe ask Jamie that question too, though. Like, should we get her like on the phone?
Today,
To make sure that we know what
she's got a pretty bad sinus
Oh, I'm
infection
sure
today.
she
She
does.
doesn't feel really good.
Yeah,
She would probably tell you the same thing.
Okay.
That Starbucks experience, man. We both knew something was there,
Okay.
for sure.
I get it.
But I think she was just coming off of a pretty rough time in her life. Her dad had
Yeah.
died, and she didn't. I don't think that she was ready to process that. And
Yeah.
she's stunning, and I thought, I am batting way out of my cage here.
I get it.
There's no way that this
Get
is
it.
going to be a thing. So yeah, I think it was the same time. I think
Good.
it was.
Okay. Grew up in Dardanelle, correct?
Yeah.
Raised in Dardanelle.
Yeah.
You'd say yes.
Graduated from Darnell.
All good. Been around the world a little bit. You're well traveled. Was there any point in your life where you regretted staying around here, not ending up somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There were more than one occasion where I thought, what did I do? What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that way now.
No, I get it.
From a career standpoint, I had some opportunities that I didn't take for, various reasons, but at the same time, so yeah, I was kicking myself professionally a couple of different times, especially when I was in college. But, honestly, if I looked at it now, I still got to do all the things that I wanted to do professionally and ended up with a great wife, a great kid, a great place here. I mean, I'm here.
Isn't it weird?
It is
how
strange.
everything just kind of, I don't want to say comes full circle, but you always end up, it's like somebody has a plan for us.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's very strange. It's almost like there's something higher than ourselves
Exactly.
watching over. I'm not sure what that might be.
Yeah.
God. Hey, final question from me to you.
Okay.
Since this is Agent Week and we're trying to get to know our agents a little bit better, Derek, why do people need to call you? Other than the fact that you'll crawl under houses for them.
Oh yeah, we missed that, but yes, I do crawl under houses, attics. It's more for my own knowledge to know what I'm getting into, even though buyers are buying the house or selling. And then of course, got kids to feed, roof to put over their heads, that kind of thing. But everybody works, and man, I had this discussion with my son this morning. He didn't want to go to school this morning, and tried to give him a little different perspective on why he needs to go to school. I said, "You've got a good life. People love you. And just because we feel like we don't want to do something, there's always somebody out there that you may not think needs you, but they need you.
Right.
You've got a good life. There's kids out there that, don't have it as well off as some of our kids do. And, even our kids, they always strive to do more and have more and want more, because it's just instinctually that way. And I kind of follow my instincts a lot of the time. there's a difference between instincts and feelings, of course,
Right.
too. We're known as the unemotional third party in a transaction, because everybody knows there's a lot of emotions that can be running through, but we get paid to do our job and keep everything together when things don't want to stay together. So I told him, I said, there could be a kid out there today that needs you, and you
Right.
need to go help him, or look for him helping, and in turn, it will make you happy helping him. And that's kind of how I approach coming to work every day. Whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning or rolling in at whatever time. But even then, I wake up with the purpose of knowing that I'm going to help somebody today, and it may or may not work out, but at least I gave it my best shot to help those folks. And it's really not the result. Again, it's just knowing that you're helping somebody. You don't get to control the outcome of it, but just helping folks, really.
All right. Derek Altman. Man, I can't believe we're already out of time. It's kind of flew by.
Go.
Nicely done. Okay, if you are in the market to buy or sell your home, you can call Derek or any one of our fine agents right here at Alethes Realty. That phone number, hey, Derek, what's that phone number?
479-968-5668.
Right. Or cruise on over to RussellvilleLiving.com. Agent Week continues all this week. If you've missed any of our spotlights, you can check them out on the Facebook page, or you can also look at RussellvilleLiving.com. Again, if you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today, 479-968-5668, or cruise on over to RussellvilleLiving.com. I'm Drew Brent. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.